Where's my button? What am I doing? There we go. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh my goodness. So, I expect to see a lot of new people tonight. I had that video go ridiculously viral. I've never had a video go. I think the most I've done was like 30,000 views before this one. It's up to 560,000 views. It's crazy. Tons of likes and comments too, which is awesome. It's like, hey, finally some hard work's paying off. But that's my favorite part, right? Is the videos that do well are just random videos. It's never like I put a ton of effort into something. You know, it's all random, but that's okay. I will keep making random videos and go from there. So if you're wondering, where is that cube? This is what started it all. This giant jelly cube I'm working on right here. It weighs 1 pound, 4.5 ounces. It's over 16,000 rings at this point. And a lot of people got confused. Hey Barb, how you doing? I said it was 14 by 14, and some people thought I was talking about inches, like 14 inches, but I'm talking about rows, right? So see these rings sticking up? There's 14 across the top, and each row has 2 layers, and so between each of these rings sticking up across the top, right? There's another layer of rings in there. So anyway, that was a fun. I'm doing all right, Barb. Right now we are streaming on a plethora of platforms, from the purple one, the X one, the blue one. We're everywhere, all under this name. If you want a different view, let me change my camera angle here. So I don't have any more rings for this right now, so this is just a work in progress. I'm trying to get it out to 20 by 20 by 20. And that's going to double the ring count, right? There's about 16,000 rings in here right now. By the time I take it from 14 by 14 by 14 to 20 by 20 by 20, it'll be about 48,000 rings. Make a pyramid. I don't know how much experimentation has gone on. People say make a pyramid, make a sphere. I don't think there's any reason why it can't be done. I just never seen anybody do it, right? Like the way it is laid out, it's kind of like all the edges got to match in order for it to be symmetrical, in order for it to be stable, right? Then am I going to shoot it with an arrow? No, no shooting things with arrows. I don't. My son has a bow and arrow I could use. That was another question people ask, is it bulletproof? And the answer is not at this size, right? If you keep just expanding it, it is aluminum, it is metal, and even if it was made out of stainless steel, right, it would eventually become bulletproof, like one time. But I am working on another cube here. This will be 12 by 12. And I'm working on... What am I on? I have 7 rows completed. It's 7 by 7 by 12. And I'm working on 8 by 8 by 12. If that makes sense. Is it arrow proof? Yeah, it probably is. It's pretty dense. You probably couldn't get an arrow to go through this. But it would definitely pierce it. There's a guy on TikTok, his name's Dash Render, and he's spent a lot of time destroying chainmail armor, riveted, butted. I was going to send him some welded rings, but I don't have the rings. I have to order them, and I have not had the money to order them. So And I haven't had the time to make them myself. A suit, that would be pretty heavy. Yeah, that was another one that came up. It'd be like very blocky, Minecrafty chainmail. If you were to use the Japanese 4-in-1 cube weave to make armor with. Not that it can't be done, just... There are companies that make suits, and the first one that comes to mind is Neptunic. They make the Neptunic shark suits that you see on Shark Week on Discovery Channel. People, they are diving with the sharks. And that's probably, those are machine made. The chainmail for the Neptunic shark suits is made by Mail Tech, which was a spin-off from the Ring Lord, I want to say about 25 years ago. Is the block used for anything else other than a conversation piece or to fidget with? This is just what I've heard. People who have like anxiety, ADHD, things like that, these little fidget cubes, like gives them something to play with to help ease their life, right? But no, it's just, it is a decorative piece. It is something to fidget with. And why am I making it so large? Because there are not a lot of large jelly cubes out there. That's a lot of small ones, right? These take 4 hours, maybe 4.5. I've got probably close to 100 hours in this. I was doing the math and thinking maybe it was somewhere between 64 and 80, but thinking back on it, I have at least 80, if not more, right? So, and I will have, by the time I'm done, I will probably have 300 hours into this once it's 20 by 20 by 20. That's cool, Lixnito. Thank you. So, and it is just a, what do you call it? To say that I did it, right? It's like when I got started 27 years ago, I wanted to make a chainmail shirt. And my first one was a really crappy chainmail shirt, but I got it done. How much would it sell for? So there's an unfinished layer on here. I don't know if you can see that. Once that's finished, if I was willing to part with it, I would set the price at $2,000. Your buddy made a shirt? They're fun. I have 4 shirts, a vest, and I have 3/4 of a coif done. I need to order some more rings for that. And I was working on that before I got sick. What else was I working on? I was working on Finnegan's Wake flag before I got sick and wrapping my saddlebags, right? Excuse me. And then I got sick, and then while I was sick, I finished up a Veg Vizier design to render for a tapestry. It's a print design, a chainmail print design. And I don't have enough RAM in my computer to render it, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish that design at all. But I did that while I was sick, and now I got started on this cube. I'm going to finish this and then go back to the saddlebags, finish those, and then the motorcycle project is a whole project. All right, so you got started in the 90s, had to make the rings back then. I did that with my first shirt. The inlays with the different colored rings, yeah. People do awesome stuff with them. I don't. I suck at them, but other people do cool stuff. Yeah, my first shirt, I handmade all the rings, and I used a poor choice in weave. I used European 6-in-1 instead of 4-in-1. I made it out of galvanized steel, and it stinks, and the tailoring of the shirt I didn't do a good job, right? But it is a finished shirt, and you can put it on, so we'll see if I want to throw it in a, what do you call it? Harbor Freight concrete mixer with some vinegar, polish it up, get the zinc off of it. Ow, my nose itches. Sorry. Get it to mild steel so that way it doesn't smell. And then make it shiny and try... there's a couple different ways to seal it from rusting. Do I have any more bracelets? I have a lot of bracelets. I don't have any handy right now. I was just talking to someone about a bracelet last night, but they have not gotten back to me, so. But yes, I have a whole selection of bracelets. If you want to message me, we can figure out a way to help you pick out. Yes, you can absolutely see them when I got the time. Just message me and I will reach out with what I have. I just took a bunch of crappy pictures of everything last night, so that's what you're gonna get for right now. I don't do photographs well. They're okay. You can see what the pictures are fine. They're just not like, what do you call it? They're not like, I wouldn't put them on a website for sale. Does that make sense? Do I ever accidentally grab my beard hair? All the time. All of the time. Like, whenever I'm sitting down at the table, right? It gets caught between me and the table, right? Whenever I pick up the laundry basket, sits right about here on my chest as I struggle to get it up the stairs. Because my laundry's in the basement for some ungodly reason. I'm working on another cube. I owe someone a 12 by 12 by 12 cube. So. But where was I? Making rings. So I spent too long making rings, right? And I didn't progress as someone who makes chainmail. I didn't progress as an artist. I didn't progress in my skill for a long period of time. So I don't recommend starting out making your own rings. I made a video on this just the other day. And it's, find yourself a pair of pliers and go to my Linktree and download the Mailworks app, which has a bunch of resources I wish I would have had when I got started a long time ago. But find one of the manufacturers and order a kit with a tutorial just to see if you even like doing this stuff. Right? That's my recommendation for people's first steps. How much are the cubes? So this one right here that I'm working on, the large one with 16,000 rings in it, if I were to finish this last layer here, right? I don't know if you can see that. Hey, Jeep and Jember, how you doing? Merry Christmas. Hey, Mike, how you doing? I would list this at $2,000. When it's finished, this is currently sitting at 14 by 14 by 4 by 13. I have that one layer to finish. When I expand it out to 20 by 20 by 20, I would set a price of $10,000 on it. So the small ones, anywhere between 50 to 200 bucks, depending on, this is a 5 by 5. It's 5 rows by 5 rows. Each row has 2 layers for anyone watching. It's 5 by 5, it's probably 50 bucks. 7 by 7, 100, 9 by 9, 200, something like that. So, but I don't sell them, so I've never priced them out. I'm just going off of what I've seen other people do. Jim Jamber, I'm doing good. I was sick for 2 weeks, so that's why I haven't been here. And then I had a an image render that I was trying to do that was 40 hours for each layer, and then it didn't end up working anyway. So for the last 3 or 4 days, my computer's been trying to render this image, and it did not end up working. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I will probably just go design something else. What do we use the cubes for? Conversation pieces, decoration, relieve stress and anxiety. They're just fun to play with. The one here, this one, is I have a rubber band ball on my bar, and it's like 5.5 by 5.5 it's like 5.5 inches in diameter, right? And so I'm trying to get this to at least 5 inches, and it's like 48,000 rings to get there. And Mike says we throw them at people. Yeah, you absolutely can. Doesn't leave a bruise. It's like an IV bag. So this is to replace the rubber band ball on my bar, is what it's for. And then this one I'm making because I owe somebody one. And I think they are using this one for a gift. I'm trying to knock this out and then get back to my motorcycle project. And once the motorcycle project's done, I've got a pile of projects over here to go through. So, yeah, what is it? IV bags, jelly cubes, and something else you can beat your kids with that doesn't leave a bruise. I don't remember what it was. Bag of oranges, maybe. You know, don't hit your kids. I'm just kidding. You started your job? Congratulations. I'm glad to hear that. How is your living conditions? You still doing okay? And neoprene sandals. That's funny. Everybody putting in their recommendations for phone books don't leave bruises. Jesus. How to keep your spouse and kids in line. Okay, you're still at the in-laws, but you have shelter. Jeep and Jammer's house burnt down. So, I was checking on him because I haven't seen him in a while. But yeah. That video went crazy, and a lot of people asking a bunch of questions, and it was fun. It's still, by the time that video cools down, I will have doubled my follower count on TikTok, right? Which is awesome, because I'm trying to hit 10,000, and I was only at 2, and right now I'm like at 3,500. Kind of. Cop told you about the sandals. It was like they sting like the Dickens, but no marks. Jesus. Kind of hard to find a phone book nowadays. Yeah? I get the Uline catalog. Uline is they make a whole bunch of stuff and distribute it. It's like office stuff. It's like Staples for businesses, right? And they send out a pretty hefty catalog every year. So I can use that in lieu of a phone book. So all right. What else has been going on? Made dinner tonight, had some enchiladas. It's always like, whenever I cook, right, I cook what I want to eat. So I make like spaghetti, chili, enchiladas. You're about to get your second check? Right on, dude. I'm happy for you. Right, and what I made enchiladas and Spanish rice tonight. And I'm not a good cook. Half of it's out of a, dump in pot, put in water and butter and stir, warm up kind of setup, right? Excuse me. So, but, nobody else wants to plan dinner. Like, my son can't plan dinner, and my significant other works full time, so she doesn't want to cook all the time. So I end up cooking what I want to eat all the time. Third check will be good. We will both be full time. First check was only 20 hours. There you go. I got an offer. I got a job offer to go work at one of the veteran retirement homes near me, and it was a night shift, 10:30 to 7 a.m. And they wanted to pay $68 an hour. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a trap. That sounds like you'd be walking into losing your license immediately kind of situation. You made 2 trays of manicotti for dinner tonight? Right on. Renee makes manicotti. She's good at it. I am not that skilled as a cook. Whatever I cook, it's edible, right? And whenever Renee cooks, it's, really good. She just, she works full time and doesn't want to cook when she gets off work, which I can't say that I blame her because she is in management and it's a high stress environment and her coworkers are, well, let's just say that there's a lot of ruffling the feathers there all day long. So she's stressed. She doesn't want to come home and make delicious meals of awesomeness. So I end up cooking, and I am, I've got my staples, but I by no means am good at what I do. It's edible. You'll be full when you're done eating it, but that's it. It won't be a memorable meal. Except for the conversation. Good conversation. Okay meals. I'm happy with that. All right. So, Mike, are you still at 50,000 rings on your cube? Is that where you were last time I talked with you? I am not in competition with Mike and his cube. But I am jealous. All right. There is. I'm trying to think what I didn't do much else, right? I was sick, and you know what? I know what it was. This weekend, I wasn't. I still wasn't feeling great, and so Friday night, I went on my PS5. I bought a PS5 about a year ago to play games, to keep myself entertained, and I haven't touched it hardly, right? I have Voodoo, where I have all my Lord of the Rings trilogies on. The Hobbit, Lord of the Rings, right? And so I wasn't feeling good on Friday, and I turned on The Hobbit. I was going to watch all 3 movies, and I got through the first and second movie, and then Saturday morning it was cloudy and gloomy, and I could not get the third movie to play all the way through. And I couldn't get any of the movies to play through at all. And normally when I sit down to do my semi-annual Lord of the Rings watch through, I sit and watch them all the way through. But now it's like I could only get through half of them, and I was pissed. So I haven't gone back to see if there was, if it was just the weather affecting, the Vudu streaming app. But I did go and look up on Amazon it's $500 collector's edition Blu-ray extended director's cut, right? Like the whole kit and caboodle of The Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings movies. I don't have $500, but I do have a credit card. I was very tempted to get it, just so I have a physical copy. Then I realized that I have a DVD player. I don't even know if it plays DVDs. The only Blu-ray player is the PS4, which is in my son's room. I would have to switch it. It's a mess. You're at 60,000, and you're going to pick up 90,000 next month when Hyperlinks goes to Loveland. Right on. Hyperlinks is going to Loveland, Colorado next month. And if anyone is in Colorado, you should go check out their stuff. You're trying to read The Hobbit, but the beginning is boring you. You just need to get a few chapters in. You're sure you'll be fine. Yes. Persevere. It is different than any other fantasy book that I've read. And there's the general premise of the book is the same as the movie, but the book and the movie are two different things. Right? And if you think The Hobbit is hard, try reading the Silmarillion. I never made it through the Silmarillion. I'm not gonna lie. So, oh, my leg's numb. Using a Lord of the Rings Magic the Gathering card of the One Ring as your bookmark. Battlefield Earth was rough to get through. Battlefield Earth? Is that L. Ron Hubbard? Right? And the whole Scientology. Tom Bombadil was what you missed the most from the movies that you wanted to see? Yeah. I remember one of my classmates growing up having read Battlefield Earth. I don't remember reading it myself. I don't have a copy, so I don't think I ever did. I think it was just a classmate of mine who read it, and then I've seen the movie. You might give it a try after The Hobbit, yeah. You love the book Battlefield Earth, the movie was trash. That's what people say, but I don't have a reference point, so... And that is kind of... like... I understand that perspective, right? Where you love the book... the show is trash. I enjoy the Witcher series. People who read the books and played the games didn't care for a lot of it, right? In the same manner, I read The Wheel of Time, right? And the way the TV show came out, I was appalled. And I watched the first season, and I haven't watched any of it since. It's the same thing with Rings of Power, right? I can't stomach it. So the way he fries the motherboards, rebuilds them, and makes them look half ruined, and the whole ending was epic. Was an epic finger to the gold stealing aliens. Oh. You read it at the age of like 10 to 13, so it's been over 30 years since you last read it? Yeah. I think I haven't watched the new Dune movies. And it's been... I read the first 2 books in Dune, and that was probably 25 years ago. So... I don't know how the new movies stack up with the books, right? And even if I went and watched the movie, I wouldn't be able to tell you, oh yeah, that happened or not, right? But if you prefer the book Battlefield Earth to the movie, I understand. It's because I prefer the books of the Eye of the World series, The Wheel of Time, to the show. And I only like the books up until Brandon Sanderson takes over from Robert Jordan, okay? Those are the books that I enjoyed. I do not like Brandon Sanderson. I don't like his writing. And I don't read a whole lot anymore. And when he took over from Jordan, it was so jarring that it took me a really long time to force myself through the rest of the books. You like the Dune movies? They're doing at least one more to get through the story? Nice. You didn't realize it was a multi-movie set when you went and watched the first part of the new Dune and you were left confused. You love the Cirque du Freak series, but the last book felt rushed and the movie left out so much, but it was like they grabbed one sentence from each chapter. I've never read the Cirque du Freak. So, yeah. Brandon Sanderson took over writing the Eye of the World series, and it was so jarring that I had to push my way through. And then Brandon Sanderson's got the Mistborn series, and I tried reading that. I couldn't get interested at all. But people rant and rave about him. He's a very prolific writer. Just, I guess, went on vacation and wrote a whole new book, so... But it's like... I haven't found... No, that's not true. Patrick Rothfuss and The Name of the Wind, the Kingkiller Chronicles, those were the last books I read, and it's an unfinished series, and Rothfuss is never going to finish them, right? He'll die before that happens. Okay? And that was kind of like the last fantasy series I was willing to read. I just got burnt out on... So here, I forget what her name is. There was an author. She was supposed to write a book titled The Mage Capital. Something like that. And she never finished it. She just stopped writing, never finished the third book. Rothfuss didn't finish the third book. Robert Jordan died, right? And that's like where I chronologically stopped reading. I tried reading Game of Thrones, and I thought it was such trash that I threw all my books away. I was like, this is hot garbage. And then people, 10 years after the book comes out, the book starts getting popular, right? Another 5 years after that, they start making the TV show. And like I had read several of the books, and it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. I think I read 5 of them, and that was when I was like, I'm done. I didn't want to read past the opening scene in the first book, but I didn't have anything else to read. And since then, I have not... Game of Thrones be the same way. Books won't be finished before he dies. Yeah. You like the show better than the books? I tried watching the show. And again... So I'm beginning to question, like, am I actually a fan of fantasy novels? Right? Just because... Like, what I read growing up, like, that was it for me. I also have not been inclined to read anything in quite a while, so we'll see. Maybe one day I will pick up a book again, but as of right now, I got burnt out on authors and bad books and shit writing, so... Now, if Doors of Stone, Rothfuss's next book, comes out, I'll read it, absolutely. I will go and reread Name of the Wind, not Dead Man's Chest. What's the second? Wise Man's Fear, right? Name of the Wind, Wise Man's Fear. Third one's supposed to be Doors of Stone. Forgotten Realms, Dark Elf live action would be cool. Yeah. Is it R.L. Salvatore? Crimson Shadow would be cool too. Have you ever read David Eddings' Pawn of Prophecy or any of the Belgariad series? Or Belgariad and something else? Some other Iliad book thing. I think that would make an excellent live action. But with the way live actions are coming out and they're just crap, I'm like, yeah, just leave it alone. Dragonlance Chronicles by Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman were amazing for you. I read a few of those growing up. I thought they were super cool. And the little dude with the top knot running around, I don't know. It's been forever since I read those. But yeah, no, I've lost my desire to read. It is what it is. Hasselhoff, yeah. You love the whole Dragonlance series? See, I hear people say that, and I hear the opposite. To each their own, obviously. But where once I was a prolific reader, and I can read like a page a minute. Okay? Like there are people who like speed read, and then there's people like me where you can just absorb a whole paragraph, you know. And it doesn't happen often, but there have been times when I've read, you know, you have this like third person experience going on as you're reading, and it's cool. Yeah. Alright, we are almost. Need to do one more layer on this. Dragonlance was good for capturing the world, and you do not see the words, but the world. Yeah, Sturm Brightblade is a person you adopted. Is that a Dragonlance character? Dragonlance had. Okay, is Sturm Brightblade the brother? Katir and Sturm was a great good versus evil love affair. Okay. Who is the brother of Raistlin? Right, the wizard. He had a character concept that I thought was really cool. He was last of an old order of knights, not Caramon the brother. Yeah, Caramon's the brother of Raistlin. It's been forever. Okay, so is Sturm Brightblade a character from Dragonlance? Is that, did you say yes to that? Yeah, in book 2. Yeah. So here it does in book 2. Fighter Barbarian. Jose. So, Caramon is the brother of Raistlin. Is that correct? I don't remember the brother's name. I just remember Raistlin. Or Rastlin. Or I don't know. And he's like this weak little dude, and then he becomes this super sorcerer. And that's all I remember. From Dragonlance, anyway. Alright. It was one of those... My family was very religious, and we went to the bookstore, and I saw that, and my parents were not sure if it would be okay for me to read such a book, because it... my parents, had they not gotten divorced, would have been like, you can't watch Harry Potter because it's got magic in it. Then they got divorced, and like, we watched everything. Tanis, half-elf party leader... Carmen Raistlin, the brothers, Flint the Dwarf, and Tasselhoff. Dies in book 2, does not. Does. Oh, and yes, Carmen was the brother of Raistlin. Okay, Raistlin killed Takhisis and became a god for a period of time. Yeah. Which is, that's, like, certainly something I never thought that I would write. right? Like I could never come up with that concept of a character becoming a god. Part of the reason why I can't play Dungeons and Dragons and do role play and stuff like that, it bores me to death, right? To play tabletop games, like, and that's from my parents endlessly, my mom, my stepdad endlessly playing board games to the point where like none of us kids will play board games anymore. Not, none of my brothers and sisters. So, brother and sisters. Right, so all my friends are like, yeah, Dungeons and Dragons and blah blah blah. And you would think, oh, I make chainmail. That would totally be something up my alley, right? But no. Not at all. And so the whole, like, creating a character and giving them a backstory and coming up with stuff like that, right? I never could do that. Interesting, you can weave hours but can't play a game of Logic. I think the group party may have been the issue with D&D, and always seems to be the case, is lacking at the DM or a good table to play at. You played AD&D for ages? That is a shirt. I'm not even kidding. Ugh. See if we can't come up with a cool design for that. Alright, but starting in D&D is like jumping into learning mail. Oh, starting D&D? Yeah. And maybe, I don't know. I got a brother-in-law who plays. My kid wants to play, what's it called? It is called Munchkins. And you need 3 people for that. So next time he comes down, I will try and sit and be a good dad. Once you get the basics, the rest is just hanging out in a pretend world, throwing dice. And wit versus the dungeon master. Yeah. No, I mean, the concept seems simple enough. It's just sitting there. Yes, let him. It's quick, easy card game. And a hoot. Yeah. He has the game, or had the game. I just haven't had a chance to sit down and play or learn to play or anything. And I'm also not... I don't want to sit and play tabletop games. I try. We play Catan sometimes. And Connect 4 a lot. Checkers is another one. Kids Monopoly. Not adult Monopoly. I will not play adult Monopoly. Or you're not a mechanic at work at the end of the first day. They ask you to switch to facilities maintenance. Pays slightly more. You've got way more freedom to pretty much do whatever. Right on. Won't play adult Monopoly ever again. But Kids Monopoly, it's pretty quick. So I tried to be a good father, and my dad played all kinds of games with us growing up. You know, chess, checkers, Chinese checkers, shoots and ladders, life. Catan is boring as hell with the wrong folks. We always have a good time. My son has figured out that if he just gets if he just buys cards, right, he'll win. So I think he's won the last 3 games just by doing that. Buying point cards or whatever they are. So I'm going to have to get a try the next time. The next time we play. Quake, Duke Nukem, 007 GoldenEye. Yeah, Nintendo 64. I never played Doom or Quake, but I did play GoldenEye. And I never had a Nintendo 64. I had a Sega. And I had Sonic, the first one, on Sega. Sega Genesis. And I think I've had Mortal Kombat. Those are like the only 2 games I ever played. Which is, it's funny because I have friends that had a lot of games and a lot of consoles growing up. And I did not have that. I had a Nintendo and a Sega Genesis. And then after that, my next console was an Xbox. I had an Xbox. An original Xbox. But like now, I have a PS5. Do I play it? No. I bought the whole PlayStation Plus package to sit down and play because I have free time. I spend most of it making chainmail. Right. But I pay. It was like $160 for the PlayStation Plus that I paid last year, and I think I played Crash Bandicoot with my kid, Crash Team Racing. And that was it. That was like the one game I played that I spent any time on. And it's essentially Mario Kart with Crash Bandicoot. So, yeah, a PC because everything was made on a PC, and that solved your whole console wars issue debate. Yeah. I've never gamed on a computer. I've never had a computer powerful enough to game on. I could probably do it on my laptop now, but I'm going to build a ridiculously powerful PC, and I'm going to use my laptop upstairs and keep my PC down here. At some point, yeah. Some motherboard that can handle 512 gigs of RAM. Put a what's the latest card? 4080. Put a 4080 Ti in there. $4090. Whatever the latest graphics card is that requires 2 what do you call them? The power makers. I'm so good at this. I'm so good at building computers. Get last year's model of everything and save 90%. Yeah, I mean, I have some computer building knowledge, but I have specific requirements for what I need as a work computer, and then maybe it'll also be a gaming computer. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Power supply. That's the word I was looking for. The 4090, I think it is, it takes 2 power supplies to run it. I don't know. I just read that. I don't know if it's true. I guess when you're firing that thing up, it sounds like a jet taking off. I don't know. But that's how I know my computer's in trouble, is when the fans kick on, my computer's about to, like, croak. Alright. Get a real American machine and have it run on a diesel generator. Speaking of generators, my neighbors have a Generac generator, and it's got to be plugged into their gas line, right? It should be a natural gas generator. We have a lot of natural gas in this neighborhood. But I haven't seen them to ask them. And we have some harsh winters where I'm at. And so to have a generator that is plumbed to the gas line that you can kick on whenever there is a power outage, that is definitely something I want. MSI Supreme GeForce RTX 4090. Yeah, okay, it is a 4090. 24 gigabyte GDDR R6X PCI Express 4.0 video card, RTX 4090 Supreme. It's $2,000. Excuse me. I'm not paying $2,000 for a graphics card. Not right now. Not anytime soon. All right. But no, I never gamed on a PC except for Solitaire and whatever that ping pong game is. Free Cell, Solitaire, and the ping pong game. And that was at a time when we didn't have game consoles. We just had a crappy computer, or well, an older computer upstairs, right? So I learned on different consoles, and like I have an original Nintendo. I think there's a Super NES, Nintendo Super NES, a PlayStation 2, 3, and 4, and 5, a Switch, a Wii, an Xbox, and an Xbox 360. Those are all the consoles I've had over the years. And I've never been, like, loyal to one or the other. So I was tempted to get into Helldivers 2. I was really tempted. Fortunately, I dodged that bullet. Greg, how you doing? I'm doing pretty well. And I did not get sucked into the Helldivers universe, which is good because I would have spent like 2 months playing. All right, need 2 power supplies, 850 per, and that doesn't count the liquid cooling system for peak performance. Or a case, yeah. Yep. No, what I need is a motherboard that can handle a ridiculous amount of RAM. Because what I do in 3D rendering is not... there's not a graphics card out there that can handle what I'm doing, right? It's RAM, and I have some high-end graphics cards, like 3080 Ti's. Okay? So they could not handle what I'm trying to do on computers. On the low end of what I was trying to do. On the high end, I got 32 gigs of RAM in this laptop that has been working up until this last design. I made a Veg Vizier design with like a dark gray background and a burnt orange Veg Vizier. And not bad. Just wrenching out your cards, getting ready for your summer gig again. Right on. Right on. So I need a motherboard that can handle a metric ton of RAM. And then everything after that would be for gaming. But I could design it for gaming and then I'll probably never play any games, so I don't know. I don't like this song. Skip. There's nothing wrong with that song. Just... What kind of cards you wrenching on, Greg? I'm not going to be wrenching on anything this year. The the motorcycle project of wrapping the toolkit, making a bib for the gas tank, and putting chainmail on the saddlebags, that'll get done this year. Hopefully in like the next 6 weeks, right? Getting the front and rear fenders, the side panels, and the gas tank hydro dipped in a chainmail pattern, that's going to have to wait. Because I don't have the money for that. Right? And then putting a chain conversion on my Road King, adding a turbo, getting better tires. That's all going to have to wait because I don't have any money for that either. But I would love to do that. And then also converting from, I have a 107 cubic inch, and I would like the 135, which I think is a $20,000 engine. So I don't have the money for that, but I would like that. That's the only thing I'm gonna wrench on anytime soon. I just need about 350. So. Alright. You were in the garage earlier changing the wife's brakes to find the pads were wrong. She got a single piston. She needed dual piston pads. The rotors were the wrong size as well. So, wasted your day cleaning the garage to get her SUV on the lift to not having the parts till next weekend to do the job now. Oh, fun. I hate that. That's the worst. Things like that are the biggest reason why I don't do a lot of home improvement projects, right? I'm going to go to the Home Depot, the Lowe's, the Menards store one time, right? And I'm going to get everything I need. And if I run into a point where I don't have what I need, right, I get ridiculous, like this is a flaw on my part, but I get ridiculously frustrated and don't want to finish what I'm doing. Sits in the middle of your workspace for the whole Deadpool scan. How you doing? Riley, thank you for the, what are those, dinosaurs? Can't use the anvil till the job's done and out? Yeah. Yep. Speaking of anvils, not really. I don't have an anvil yet. But that is another thing, right? The progression of getting the anodizer for projects in the basement, getting my ring cutting station set up, coiling and cutting, right? Getting all that set up, getting my riveting set up completed, right? Like those are all priority over gaming computers or Harley parts for right now. For now. But if I went and took that nighttime job that is offering a ridiculous amount of money, I don't have the time or the interest to go and do this job, but it is a $68 an hour is pretty good. So, and places only pay that, right? If the work situation is so bad that they have to get nurses in there. So it sounds like the work conditions are probably really horrible. I don't want to do that to myself, and I don't want to work nights, so. The G20 van just finished the water pump and realized the thermostat is stuck closed. Oh, fun. All right. We are working on 8x8x12 so far. It's coming along. Probably have this done by the end of this week. Knock on wood. Knock on real wood. There you go. Kind of been just working on it off and on the last couple days. Finally got to sit down here to this evening and put some time in. Alright, for some reason, my chat's all screwed up. YouTube comments aren't showing up where I usually see the chat. It's on where I'm streaming to, on my regular platforms, not on Twitch. I have a comment section on the left-hand side of the screen above my head. And some comments aren't showing up. Sarah, how you doing? How you feeling? Kate, how you doing? I'm so sorry I missed you. Kate was just in Chicago, and I was unable to make it down there today. But if you don't know who Kate Culp is, you should go follow her. She's an amazing person. Oh. Been detected. What? Well, I'm not inactive. What the heck? Oh, drag the puzzle piece into place. That was weird. It was hectic all weekend. Yeah, I bet. Sarah's feeling pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling much better. I was sick for like 2 weeks. And I'm finally back at it again. So, but yes, I was unable to make it down there to see Kate as she came to Chicago. But I did hear that her vehicle Audacity was in the top 20 at the World of Wheels show this weekend, so, which is awesome. Good to hear I'm doing better. Yes, thank you. I'm glad to hear you're doing better. All right, so are you on your way back home, Kate? Have safe travels. It's one of those things where it's like someone who has influenced you is in your area, and missing out on the opportunity to go see them, it sucks. It does. So, they say don't meet your heroes, but do go meet cool people who have positive influences in your life. Stay in Chicago tonight, then head home tomorrow? Right on. Right on. Come on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm very sorry I couldn't make it. It was just not possible for me to get down there. So, I'm spending my time weaving more stuff. Trying to get some work done. Trying to get back into working. That's been awful too. Just my computer not rendering the images. The image that I'm trying to render being too big for my computer to process, right? That was like 80 hours of unproductive time that, you know, I wasn't streaming because the computer was doing this render, right? And then I wasn't feeling good enough to get any work done. Yes, the Cube of Doom. The armored gelatinous cube. Immune to slash damage. But yeah, like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks of just blah. Not doing anything. If you're ever at Road America, look for the old ball guy cleaning bathrooms. Okay. Is that in Chicago? I don't know where Road America is at. That's the thing too, is being someone who streams. All right. It's you meet people all over the world. Just being on the internet, you meet people all over the world. And I've had people come and go that I have met in person that I met online. And I think that is always fun. All right. Do we need to do something about this? As moderator. Let's... All right. Kate, do you know Chris Collette who's tagging you? I think it's just a bot. Kate or Chris Collette, are you a bot? Is that what's going on here? You do not. Okay, there's no reason for them to tag you. We will block them. Goodbye. I think it's just a bot. So it's one of those. They pop up in stream and they just randomly start tagging people. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just here. I'm doing my best. Yeah. Oh. So, yeah. Feeling terrible. Not getting any work done. And then all of a sudden I made a silly little video with this cube on it. And next thing I know, I have a viral video that last I checked was at 560,000 views or something. So that was awesome. This is going to sound weird. I remind you of your eldest son. Is he handsome and charming and talented and good looking? Does he have a beautiful voice like me? The hills are alive. All right, Jeep and Jammer, I'll have a good one, buddy. Thanks for stopping by. Right on. Let's see here. His name is Loki, huh? User 882760700585. I'm making a giant, well, it's not giant yet, but a jelly cube. And I'm working on, this is a different ring size. So we are at, do gloves made of this fit snug? I have one glove. It is a butcher's glove, and I've never put it on. It was my aunt's, I guess, does it make him my uncle? Right, he's my uncle. His dad was a butcher, something like that, and had this chainmail glove from 100 years ago that they use in butchering animals. I have that. So the gloves made from chainmail are for butchers are like loose fitting. Not too loose, but you would have to have some custom gloves made for them to be snug, I would imagine. I guess it depends on hand size too. I don't know. But all the custom gloves I've seen fit pretty snugly. That's a Kate's son's name is Loki. All right, so Loki, Kate's son, is a handsome, talented, charming individual with a beautiful voice, just like me. Looks very cool up close, tedious to make, you imagine. Yes. When you get to, this is, okay. There are 14 rows on each side of this. Each row has 2 layers, right? A vertical layer and a horizontal layer, right? When you get to this level, it takes 2 to 3 hours to complete one layer of one side. And it takes 2 layers to make a row, right? And that can become a real grind. There is as much effort put into a cube this size as it is for a chainmail shirt, right? And shirts require a large number of rings, somewhat accurate tailoring, and it just can become a grind over time. So I'd rather not be doing anything else other than this. The only reason I stopped doing this is family stuff, gotta sleep, eat, or I need to stop so that I don't injure myself. So, but yeah, I do all of this. And I tend to make somewhat cool stuff sometimes. It's hit or miss. Did I just go full Moulin Rouge? Hey, sister, gonna... Wait, no. Hang on. Full Moulin Rouge. What is, Oh, okay, because The Hills Are Alive. No, that's, I went Sound of Music. That's what that was. My reference point for that song is Julie Andrews in Captain Von Trapp. That's my reference point for that song. I've seen The Sound of Music something like 100,000 times. My live may not contain themes suitable for younger audiences, and okay. So live visibility restricted for 10 minutes. I didn't consume any substances, Okay. No, I don't sell them right now. Maybe one day. I have a lot of work to do before I'm in a position where I can routinely sell stuff like this. I will get there, but my goal is to finish all my old projects in my basement, get them done, out of the way, because they're taking up space, and then after that, I will begin my setup for taking requests and custom orders and, moving towards having a full chainmail shop here in my basement. A one-stop chainmail shop. So, what am I doing? What was I saying? Oh yeah, no. My mother was a big fan of The Sound of Music growing up, and we watched it like every day for 7 years straight or something, and it was just that over and over and over again because she loved the movie so much. And Moulin Rouge didn't come out till many years later, so I can still recite all the words of The Sound of Music, not just the songs, but from beginning to end. And it's yeah, it's fun. But Moulin Rouge, Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend, and is it the main song? No. There's a couple of really good Moulin Rouge songs, or songs that came up from Moulin Rouge. You've been trying to finish old products for a while without starting new ones, that is? Oh, isn't that? Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to say I've managed to not start new projects, but yeah, I am trying to finish old ones. Old ones that are either, they're unfinished, they've either... I have 3 categories. They're unfinished, and I just need to put some hours into them, and they will be done. They were finished products, but it's like they look terrible and they need some work, right? And then half-finished stuff that I may not have had a plan for to begin with, and need to just do something with them. Like, for example, I had a shirt that I was working on made from black and stainless steel and regular stainless. Here. I'm sorry. I had a shirt I was working on that was made from black and stainless steel, right? And I had all this black and stainless done up, ready to go. But I can't get the black and stainless in this ring size in a high enough quality at this point because the manufacturer just took a dump. And so I tore it all apart and I'm building covers for my saddlebags. Right? So there's a lot of projects like that that are like, they were once something, now they're something else. So, and yeah, a lot of new projects have been started in between. I've got 20 bracelets that I have to finish. I got to order some rings for and finish those here pretty soon. Those won't take very long as compared to some of the other, 2, 3, 400 hour projects that I have. Sometimes you have to walk away so the world still lives. If you know what I mean, yeah. No, I get it. This is all I do. And I will move to doing this for an income eventually. I'm not there yet. I got too much stuff to clean up. That shirt is sick. Well, it's not a shirt anymore. It's a cover for my saddlebags. Let me show you. Actually, is Kate still in here? I think she is. Rule number 1 of streaming on the internet is never run away from the camera. Okay, let me change camera angles over here. So this is the chainmail. The black and stainless was the shirt. It's been cut and trimmed to become this cover for my saddlebag. And if you look real close at the edge, you can see the leather trim and the leather braiding that goes all along the edge. Right? And that was inspired by watching Kate do her magic with her Volkswagen Beetles. You can see it's all along the edge here too. I was watching her and I was like, wow, her stuff looks super cool. Okay, to give you an example of what this looks like without this edge. Let me go grab the other saddlebag. Okay, move this one. Okay, so it's just an edge. A regular edge to a saddlebag. It's got a bunch of holes punched in it because that's where the new leather is going to go with the braiding and everything, right? That's what it looked like before without the holes, right? And that's what it looks like now. And that trim goes all the way around that edge, covering up everything, making the connection between where the chainmail meets up with the edge of the saddlebag just flush and covered and make it look real nice. And it's all because Kate is so awesome at what she does. The only thing I don't like is how I finished this edge here. Right? Like, it's not the best. If I ever do this again, I need to do it some other way. But yeah, so yeah. That's what that is now. It's a cover for the other saddlebag. Alright, you guys tired of looking at this? It's super cool. Lots of Harley guys who would run to buy this. Great detail. Thank you. A lot of people would probably ask. They'd be like, "Oh yeah, can you wrap my saddlebags?" And I thought about it. There's no chance you'll ever finish all your basement projects. That's funny. That is probably true for me too. The issue with having chainmail on a saddlebag is that you have to destroy the saddlebag's value in order to do what I did, okay? And it's one of those things where I'm willing to do it to my stuff. I'm not going to be willing to do it to someone else's. But gas tank bibs, maybe I'll make some in the future. I want to do one for my bike. And so those don't require any destruction of the bike. Whereas saddlebag wraps and toolkit wraps, that would be... I couldn't do it. And I'll get there. I think once I get this cube done, then it's time for the second saddlebag, which is all prepped and ready to go for the most part. I've got the leather cut. It's halfway stamped. I've got the leather cord ready to go. All the holes are punched in the saddlebag, as you saw. And so it shouldn't take too long. Like, I'll finish this cube this week, and then the saddlebag next week, and then the gas tank bib. Knock on wood. I hope that's how it goes. Provided I don't get sick again or anything else. But that's the thing. In order to continue with the theme of the saddlebags, right? When I go to make the gas tank bib, I want to edge the gas tank bib to where the chainmail I want to edge it in leather, just like I did with the saddlebags, so that where the chainmail and the leather connect is all covered up, right? Which is an arduous process. And it's not the end of the world. I just have to sit down and do it. So, but it's finally warming up outside. I can get out there, take the cover off the bike, get my measurements, and start working on the gas tank bib here pretty soon. The gas tank bib and the toolkit. Okay, so I started this project at the beginning of Christmas break last year. And I thought, oh, well, the chainmail portion's already made, right? I'm just going to take apart this shirt and put it over the saddlebag. Excuse me. Ooh. I'm just going to take apart this shirt, put it over the saddlebags, punch some holes, lace it all together. It'll be fine. And that turned out to not be the case. Here we are 3 months later, and I'm still working on it, but I'm close. Well, you may lose an original condition resale. You will double in the look. Same cover with HD in it. Yeah, I hope that, for my bike, the covered saddlebags, increase the value of my bike, the perceptive value of my bike. It's still not something I'd be willing to do to someone else's bike, personally. A toolkit, maybe, just because those are relatively cheap. But saddlebags are $300-400 a piece. It's like, I don't even want to play in that. Because you do the job, person decides they don't like it, they want it taken off, you remove it, and then they have all these holes in their saddlebags, and it's like, yeah, it sounds like a headache is what it sounds like. Where are we at here? Oh, it's 9:54. 9:54, and we are almost at 8 by 8 by 12 on this cube. Should finish up this here in the next little bit. And then it's going to be time for me to hop off here. Yeah, we've got, it's coming along. There's that. We're getting there. One ring at a time. And then 100 other projects to do. And then, oh, and here's my favorite part. Once I get through, like, my pile of projects here, my next few projects after that are really big. So that's going to be fun. But it's one of those, if I can get them done correctly, these are like put you on the map projects. I think the motorcycle is a pretty put me on the map kind of project too. So, but it's funny because the videos of the saddlebags have not done nearly as well as I thought they would. So, just your own opinion. People pay a lot for the look. Hope you're still around if you change your mind. Yeah, I hope you are too if I change my mind. Maybe one day I will be comfortable with it. Or if there was a situation where, like, you have your saddlebags and you buy a second set of saddlebags that, you know, you understand is going to get destroyed, I would be more comfortable with that, right? Than I would taking someone's original saddlebags to their bike and tearing those up, you know? Alrighty. Let me finish this row here. I've got, what is the, so while I was sick and while I wasn't able to do anything and while I wasn't getting any computer work done and not getting any chainmail work done and basically just sitting around, I am bad at advertising my business, right? I tend to like design something, post it once, and then forget about it. So in order to alleviate that, I have started posting items of the day. And usually I'm up around 6 a.m. and sometime between 6 and 7 I post an item of the day with a little 15% off, right? And that has garnered a lot of attention. I made some sales off of it, which was good. But if you see that, that's trying to keep that up. Right now, because of all the Jelly Cube raving, excuse me, that's gone on over the weekend, my 560,000 view video, today's item of the day is the Jelly Cube hooded blanket. Let me grab that. It's impromptu commercial time. It's here. So this, where's the hood? There is the hood. There is the Jelly Cube, one part of it, right? Try and get as much of this on camera as you can see. For anyone wondering, it's really high res. It's an excellent print. Ships in the US. Alright. Why is it yellow on here? It's so weird. Like, the red and purple on here change my camera view on my computer to red. I don't know. Anyway, so this is posted on all my social medias. And if you use the discount code IOTD, item of the day, IOTD, that will get you 15% off. And that's all because I wanted to, like, people kept asking me for jelly cubes, and it's like, these are very expensive, and this one's not even finished. So I was like, let me try and get something out there in front of people. And I thought you guys would all like to know. Get yourself a hooded blanket. They're super warm, super comfortable, super fun. And chainmail is awesome. It doesn't go out of style. With that in mind, if you want to learn more about making chainmail, please check the link tree in my bio if you're on TikTok, or go to my website, mailworks.com. There's a link to the Mailworks app, and that app has a bunch of resources where for suppliers, tutorials, where other chainmailers hang out, all the stuff I would have wanted when I first started making chainmail. That's the first step if you want to learn how to make chainmail. If you want to support me, please go to my website and grab something. That helps me afford materials, supplies, and allows me to spend time doing this stuff. Why did the Knight stop using the internet? Why did the Knight stop using the internet? Even better idea, change the look whenever you want with the second set. Yeah. Second set of, if someone had a second set of saddlebags, I'd be much more willing to screw that up with my shenanigans than the original set to their bike. Right? What else? So, tonight was the first night back in a long time. Hopefully, we will be back to streaming regularly. Knock on wood. Got a lot of stuff to do. Got a lot of fun stuff to make. He got sick of the chainmail. That's a good one. I like that. All right, CoonBear90, thank you for that joke. For the rest of you, you're all wonderful people. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. It is 10 o'clock. I do have to go and make sure that my child is in bed and finish out the rest of my evening. So you all have a wonderful evening. Kate, you have safe travels back home. Looking forward to seeing all the videos from your travels, your three shows. And congratulations on all your success. Appreciate you guys. You guys all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you later. Bye.